Okay, you guys, I just finished an AMA with Trav, the founder of Wolf Capital. I think you guys are going to really love it, especially if you're not invested in the protocol. And full transparency, I actually am not invested in it either. I've been sitting on the sidelines. I've been waiting to see what's happening with them now that they've reached the 60-day mark where people can actually withdraw their funds. So I ask all the tough questions. I really try hard to make sure that I uncover everything that needs to be known about Wolf Capital, about what's been going on with them and where they're headed. So sit down, buckle up, and enjoy this interview with the founder of Wolf Capital. What's going on, you guys? I am Matt, and I'm so excited today. I have the founder of Wolf Capital. His name is Trav, and I'm excited to ask him all the questions. I've polled my community, and I've gathered a bunch of questions together, both the people that have been in Wolf Capital and the people that aren't in it yet. So super excited. We're going to dig into all of that here in this AMA with you guys. But right now, I want to invite you guys to hit the like button. I want to get this video out to as many people as we possibly can. And while you're down there, I just want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you guys. I try to do my best to get you great content each and every week and as often as I possibly can. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to pitch it over to Trav and just have him give a brief introduction about who he is and a little bit about Wolf Capital. So go ahead.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on. So yeah, I'm Travis. I'm the owner CEO of Wolf Capital. Wolf Capital's just your basic staking fixed ROI DApp, but in a very innovative way to bring DeFi together with it. So we have a teams aspect of it. We call Wolf Packs. You can join a Wolf Pack. That'll boost your ROI depending on the Wolf Pack that you join. The idea behind it was to kind of create this kind of competitive atmosphere, but also at the same time work together as a team. You're not going to find that really anywhere else in this market. But your base is 1%, and then your top Wolf Packs get about 2%, and that's depending on the money and the amount of people in that Wolf Pack. So that way, not just one whale can throw in 100K and then automatically get 2%. He's got to have a team, team of people in there.
I like that.
Yeah. So like I think on the first 12 hours that we launched, the DeFi Snipers Club, they already had that 100 and 100 people in I think it's 100 people and 100,000 to get that 2%. So they were very competitive.
Okay,
a lot of shilling and stuff. So I think it's 100. Yeah,
100 people, 50,000 TVL within the team.
There's so many numbers.
They
did a really good job, solid job. I think there's 2 or 3 more Wolf Packs that also do that. I think a lot of them are maxed out.
Which originally
2%.
Originally you guys didn't have a max, right? When you first launched.
Correct. Yeah.
And then you kind of made that adjustment on the fly because everyone was joining one team, basically.
Yeah. So basically the D app itself on the contract relies heavily on the referral system, and that is kind of what we based being able to gather and organize the teams is through the referral system. So there's no way to cap it without having to change the entire contract, so to speak. Which we did migrate. We're in a proxy now. We can change it if we want to change it, but the hardest part is it would basically be a complete rebuild from scratch.
Okay.
So what we did was we capped it through the UI, and then we just kept the referrals. So if you want to join one of those teams, you just have to know somebody on that team, get a referral, and then you can hop in there. But we were able to cap it through the UI, so that way,
that makes sense.
Not everybody's jumping in on that. Those top teams are, looking to, start their own or getting some of these smaller Wolf Packs. So, but we have a lottery system, and that's kind of the way that we've made it.
Right. I see that here.
A little competition between the teams. The team that brings in the most deposits for a 7-day period ends up winning the lottery, and then it's divvied out between everybody on that team. And it's not just divvied equally to each person. It matters based off of how much is in. Like, so for example, if I put 10,000 in on a $10,000 stake, and then Jimmy puts in $200 stake, the guy that put in the 10,000 is going to get more than on that lottery than the other guy. So to make it fair.
Right. So it's weighted based on how much capital you put in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like how you guys have that team aspect of things with the wolf packs. I think that's pretty unique in the lottery mechanism, and even the referrals that you mentioned. I thought that's pretty cool. You offer like 1.5% to the referrer and and the referee, I guess. So
Yeah.
that
So
that's like a win-win.
1.5 both ways. Yeah.
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 I think that's great. Myself being a YouTuber, I mean, of course, it's great to get referrals, but I think it's way better to have that split down the middle. Like, I just think that's a win-win, and there's no sour feelings on either way. So you're helping each other out. So when I saw that, I thought that was pretty cool. So if we just briefly, like you already kind of covered a lot of this, but if I just kind of go to the staking page, from what I'm seeing, like Trav said, you start out with a base of 1% that you can earn on whatever you stake into the contract. And what you stake in there, it looks like it's locked for 60 days. And on every seventh day, you can claim. And can you
Hmm.
compound that back in, or do you need to create a new stake?
You have to create a new stake. So the everything we've done and the rules that we put in place are all for sustainability. Compounding
Yeah.
is it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's great for the short term, but in the long term, it kills every single DeFi project that has it.
Yep.
Uh, so we didn't want any part of that. We just I think the DeFi snipers team again. They came out with a strategy doing, taking 50% of what they earn for that week, and then taking the other 50 and reinvesting it into a new stake.
Okay.
It keeps the contract healthy. It is kind of a form of compounding, but that stake's locked for 60 days. So
Right. So each one of those additional stakes is locked for 60 days, and you guys don't have many fees, but you do have that deposit fee. So they're also
hmm
incurring that, which I guess adds to the health of the TVL as well, of what's
yeah,
going on. Um,
yes.
so yeah, if you
So
want to talk about the fees there, just kind of break that down as
yeah,
well
so
for
the fee,
people.
yeah, it's 4% marketing, 3% goes to the owner, 2% goes to the dev, and 1% goes to the lottery.
Yeah.
So and it's been brought up in the past, why aren't we taking a percentage off of how much profit we're generating through our external revenue? Um, it's because we need a market, and we can't wait to generate profits. Take a percentage of that, then
Yeah.
market it. A lot of the DeFi projects don't realize uh, how much money goes into marketing. I mean,
Right.
just alone, I think this month, I think we've spent a little over north of 20 just on marketing alone. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cost that's involved in this. So, that's kind of why we do everything up front, but we don't take anything on the back end. It's your divs, it's your money made. So,
Yeah. So like, what's your motivation for it doing well? You know what I mean? I mean, I know you get three
yeah,
percent of that fee there, so I guess that's a motivating factor. But maybe you could speak to that.
actually, I mean, I haven't really taken much out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I did the math. I mean, that's not like a mountain moving amount of money. Like,
No.
and based on the history that I know about you, I don't know you personally, but I've heard other AMAs where you talk about your involvement in the oil industry and what you do for a
Hmm.
living. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like you need to do this. That's just my assessment.
No.
So, my question is like, what's your heart behind it? Like, why do it?
I I just love the space.
Yeah,
You know, I've lost 50K probably altogether in rug pulls.
yeah, yep,
There's a change need to be made, and somebody needed to do it. I again, I'm not making a killing off of this, and I haven't even really touched any of that money that I have been getting back. A lot of it's gone to paying personnel that are working for us.
yeah,
So it's just at the end of the day, it's just a change needs to be made. But
yeah,
we are making a change, and we are bringing in new people to DeFi, and because I mean,
yeah,
my DMs are fully loaded with people going, "I'm new to this. What do I do?"
right.
And so, educating and helping the space out at the same time, leading by example. Um, I just love that part. So I would say that's probably what motivates me
Yeah.
to keep doing this. So
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, for me, like, yeah, people's why is really important on why they're doing something. And I mean, it's apparent with you guys have very minimal fees altogether. I mean, just on deposits alone. So it doesn't seem like Yeah, it just seems like I could tell where you're at with this, with your heart and why you're doing things. So that part I like. To be completely honest and upfront with the audience here, like I'm not actually invested into Wolf Capital yet, which is why I've been excited to have Trav on because I've been sitting on the sidelines when you guys launched. I think it was middle of February, and right
Hmm.
at that time there were several other like projects that now that we're digging into this, maybe they're not like this at all, but on the surface, they seemed like this 2% a day AI bot trading
Yeah.
platforms, and they either rug pulled or just completely failed. And a lot of people got hurt and wrecked in those projects. So I was like, okay, very trepidatious before myself, and I led my audience into another project that I wasn't 100% sure on. So
Yeah.
in this case, here we are 2 months later, and I've been on the sidelines watching, and you guys have you're still here, you're still super present. You guys, your TVL's only grown and we just hit that 60-day mark. So I think that's pretty significant because people can withdraw from the platform if they want to. But all I've seen so far is a bunch of people, even in the last 2-3 weeks, a massive amounts of onboarding happening for you guys. So
Yeah.
which is kind of the opposite of what you might think, because I would think everyone's sort of hitting the brakes and like watching what's about to happen, but people are just coming in and they don't seem to be afraid. And we'll talk about your revenue sources. I think that's what everybody also wants to know about. But those are my observations and why I wanted to kind of dig in and like press you guys and find out more about what's going on.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So, flipping over to that, if you guys are really transparent with your trading that you're doing and like the revenue generation that's happening. So I think, in my mind, 2% after all the other projects, in my mind, I'm like, well, that's just really not possible. 2% isn't possible. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe you can speak to that.
So 2% is actually it's doable. We've come short of that every week, but we are anywhere between like 2%. You have to understand like the whole D app itself, the whole fixed RI system. Uh, the average right now is actually like 1.6. I think we're
Right.
averaging
Because
up
not everybody's earning 2%. Yeah.
exactly.
No, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and right now we're sitting at like 1.3, 1.4 average,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. I haven't tallied my numbers up for today because that report
Yeah.
goes out here in a little bit. But I mean, just like for example, this morning I closed we had like a $52,000
I
profit
saw that, man.
on one
That
trade.
was a
Yeah, just
banger
one trade.
trade.
Oh yeah,
I got it right. Let's see. I got it right here.
I was ecstatic about that one.
I was like,
Uh,
Trav, man, that's awesome.
yeah.
Like, is this
Uh,
normal?
no, that's not normal.
Yeah, no, that's cool though. But this is the kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Is this a manual trade that you did?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that was me. There was another small one that was right behind it for
Yeah.
I think like 4,500. It was,
Awesome.
but but yeah. I mean, transparency is everything. We post everything that we can.
Right. I grabbed a
All the
couple
trades that are
shots.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the trades that we make, all of our reports, all of our earnings. As long as we're green at the end of the week, I think that's what matters the most. And then of
Yeah.
course we migrated, so we did that upgrade so we can change the divs if we need to, which we're going to.
Right.
We got to
Yeah.
run after this report comes out. I get the numbers and stuff. I'll make a decision whereabouts we'll end up landing for the week, and then we'll probably go ahead and drop divs for the first time just to kind of
Yeah.
see how it works. So
Yeah.
it won't be too much, but yeah.
So how will that work? Okay, before we even do that, so you guys already launched that new contract. It's live
Hmm.
now. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
We
was a pretty
migrated all the
seamless.
data. That was a 6 hour. We shut down for about 6 hours. We migrated, transferred all the data over. There's still just a couple little UI bugs, but
Yeah,
nothing major. Everything's running pretty smoothly. So
that seemed pretty seamless for everyone involved because I didn't even. It seemed like they didn't even have to do anything, right?
no, nobody had to do anything. We already had
Cool.
all the data, so we just had to transfer it over.
Okay. And so we'll talk a little bit about maybe what's all involved in the new contract. Obviously, it's that variable divs that you guys can control based on. I guess it's based on exactly what you're bringing in, right? That's the idea.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the idea. So it's still going to be fixed ROI. So we'll just change like for a 7 day period. If we brought in let's say for like this go around, if we're close to 1.8 or 1.7 or something like that for the week as in
Okay.
per day, per day average, then that's what we'll drop it down to. So basically, we'll just tally up 7 days. Gets anywhere close to where we came in at. That's where we'll set it. We may what I'm probably going to end up doing is being like a point one shy of that, so that way we can close that gap, because there is a little inflation right now because
Right.
of we never did top it at 2%, and we
Right.
didn't really think of, like, when we started, that we needed to change those divs,
Uh-huh.
and we weren't really sure how the community would react to it, but we had a ton of support in the very beginning, and a lot of people are asking, like, well, why didn't you add this in the contract? So I was like,
Yeah. And how have they reacted since you made the announcement to make it variable? Like, what's the temperature of the community, you think?
1% hate it, 99% love it. Like,
Yeah.
there's always that one guy that's like, oh, I'm trying to get rich quick right now, and I'm like, that's not
Yeah,
what we're
like,
about.
do you want something to last, years,
Yeah,
multiple, or just like a quick month? That's the question you got to be asking yourself.
right,
Yeah.
right.
No, I personally, and again, I'm not in it, so I haven't been earning the 2%, but this makes me more apt to want to get in it personally,
Right.
because you guys are actually basing it off real results, which I see that you're actually making. It's like, I flick through the things that you guys got going, and I know this is only some of the things, but I'm seeing on the week 9%, 4%. So I mean, maybe that's not the strongest one, but it seems like here's I don't know. It just seems like you guys are able to make at least 1%, and most of the time more than that is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So I think that's encouraging. I think the variable yield that you're going to be providing is going to attract a whole new group of people that weren't already in there, in my estimation. So that's what I'm thinking. If you want to talk about maybe all the different types of things that you're doing, I know you're doing grid bots, you're doing futures, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we have a grid bot that runs 24/7. I think right now it's running roughly about 245K in it.
Okay.
I run it really, really tight, just because of the volatility. The higher volatility, the tighter it runs, the more
Hmm.
profit you generate. Um, so that one runs, we usually get about 3 to 4% out of that one a week. Sometimes it's
That's cool.
higher. I mean, if we have a really, really volatile week, I've seen it get 8% in one week. So uh, that one's a
Yeah.
pretty sustainable, reliable
Right.
source of income coming in. And then we have DCA bots. I have probably a little over. I'm guarantee you, I probably have 250 now. They each run separate different
Wow.
coins, several different strategies. Those are, they are bots. They are automated, but it takes a lot of manual work of turning them off, turning them on,
Yeah.
based off of what the market's doing, because they are running different types of strategies. So it's not like a cookie cutter fix all. Like, it's just if you see a bearish, like, signals coming in, it
Hmm.
looks like it's going to be a rough day. Um, you know, we'll turn on some of the long ones,
Right.
right around where it bottoms out, and then we'll try to catch like an RSI dip, and run, maybe 20 or 30 of those. So it's a lot of manual work, but we're looking to fix that, to automate through Trader's View, because right now we're using 3 commas,
Okay.
and that'll be more customizable in an automated optimization platform that we're going to build. I've got a couple guys working on it right now.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
Ox's dev team, we got those guys working on it right now too. So hopefully here pretty quick we can have that finished, and I think that's going to help boost some of that profit a lot more, because
Yeah.
I can't watch it 24/7. So
Yeah,
uh,
for what it seems like you have a lot of other responsibilities. Like that's was one of my questions is how are you able to keep tabs on this if you're the main guy running this? Like how are you able to do it?
it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
a lot of not sleeping.
Yeah. And is that going to
But
wear you down over time, Like how long
yeah,
can you do that?
and that's that. Yeah, we made it a pretty big priority
Yeah.
to get that rolled out, so that way it takes a heavy load off of me. It's still
Yeah.
going to be having to be monitored quite a bit, but with the automatic optimization where it changes the parameters for you, that's really where the time goes. Because
Yeah.
I go in, I have to change a lot of the parameters around, because it may be, BTC was running, for example, yesterday at like 31K. Today it's like
Hmm.
29.5. So you have to change those parameters around based off of what the price is doing and what the direction it's moving.
Right.
So if once we get that rolling out, I think that's going to really make things move a lot more easily, a lot more profitable. And then of course we got BitGet. We got a affiliate program with them, so we're partnered with them. So
Okay.
they're saving us like 30% on our fees. So that's more money
Yeah.
that they'll we'll profit into the investors' pockets. And also they're going to set us up a kind of a new uh, that copy trading stuff that they're doing, but we're going to kind of twist it just a little bit. We're going to offer um, NFTs to. I think the idea right now is we haven't really made an announcement yet, but we're looking to possibly do like an NFT program with that. And whenever you get the NFT, you can join the copy trading.
So
So
people
that way,
could copy the trades that you're making on behalf of Wolf Capital,
right,
in essence.
correct.
Yeah. Well, hey, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because we want to raise a little bit more capital, and
Yeah.
the NFTs are kind of the a no brainer there. And then of course we've had a huge desire for everyone wanting to copy my trades and stuff. And at first I was kind of like, well, that's kind of the whole point of staking. Like if I just give you the recipe, then you know
Right.
you're
Right.
just gonna do it yourself, and like that's the whole point of staking. Like defeats the like what am I gonna do?
Now it's
You know?
not passive anymore. Now, yeah, you're
Right.
taking Trav's job. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now we're thinking about because it'd be another source of revenue too, because
Yeah.
they do offer commissions off of those copy trade profits too. So
Okay.
that'll add more profit through that side.
So you'd get the
We
commissions and you get the proceeds from the NFT sales also.
correct.
Right.
Yeah. And so we're looking at different sources of revenue. But since we finished this migration, our focuses are now looking more towards the future. What can we do to
Yeah.
expand the ecosystem and stuff? So that was one idea that we had since we're having such a huge desire for that copy trading stuff. So we were thinking about getting that going here pretty soon as we finish up the
Okay.
optimization side with our bots and stuff and getting away from 3 commas. But
Yeah. When wasn't there like a bunch of FUD with 3 commas like in December of last year? Like
yeah, so what
the
happened? Yeah, their
API keys got
API,
leaked or
yeah,
something.
yeah, all a bunch of API keys got leaked. I think I don't think anybody stole anything, or they
Okay.
tried to make out with a little bit, and they ended up just shutting the platform down for
Yeah.
a couple hours, and then got it fixed. But
But it seems like you've
all
been
the
using them for years though.
I've used them for a long
Yeah.
time. I've never had an issue.
Yeah.
But again, all my API keys are spot trade read only, so they don't have the ability to withdraw any funds.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I mean that kind of brings us into like for those of you that just don't have any know your history, like how are you so good at trading, or what makes you
yeah,
qualified to
so
trade for people? I mean,
yeah,
other
I
than your
was
results, because I mean you're showing your results and they're good.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my dad taught me a lot about commodities, trading, stuff like that. He was into it for decades.
Yeah.
So he started me out pretty young at 12, 13, explaining the economic side of it all and how to trade. And back
Hmm.
then, you had the Windows 95 computer and slow as can be. So,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I pretty much, I've been, I did that all through, high school and stuff. Um, and then in college, and then while I was working, I've always used it as another source of income. Um, but during COVID, I was really heavy into oil just because I'm in the oil market, so it's a
Okay.
lot easier for me to trade it because I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, so when oil fell out during COVID, I don't know if you remember, but even at one point it was like negative 40 a barrel on like
Wow.
a 7-day contract, and it was stupid. So a
Yeah.
lot of the oil companies completely fell out. So I went heavy into oil. I spent every single dime I could find. I even tried to borrow even
Wow.
more money just to get in on this opportunity because it was like this is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
So I bought up everything I could possibly buy that had to do with oil, and if I knew that the company wasn't going under, I was buying every single share they had.
Wow.
Uh, and in 2 years, I made a damn good profit, small fortune. So, after something big like that happens, you
Hmm.
just kind of step back and you're like, well, what's the next big thing? So
Right.
that's how I got into crypto.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, it seems like I heard you talking about what you do in the oil industry is you're like a drilling expert.
Yeah, I'm a directional driller. So,
Directional driller. Yeah, like you
yeah,
drill
so
horizontally, right?
yeah, yeah. I build the
That's
curves
cool.
and then the lateral horizontally. So
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of math involved in like making it
uh,
not blow up and break, I guess is what your job is.
there's a lot of math,
Yeah.
a lot of math.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool. Well, that kind of makes sense how you can lateral that sort of stuff into, creating these algorithms and programming these bots, et cetera. Um, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, in terms of the TVL versus the total investment, so like the total investments, that's all the money that's come into the protocol, right? Not what's it, not what you guys are trading with. This is this 1,714,000. This is
right. Those are just total investments. The simplest way to do it is every Monday, which today here in a couple hours we'll release it. All you have to do is take what is in the contract and then add the portfolio, and then that's your TVL.
So like this, let's see, I don't know what the newest one is, but like this number here plus what's
I think that's the newest one. That was the last week's. So yeah,
April 2nd through the 9th plus what we see here in the TVL, and you're saying that's
that would be your total value locked.
okay.
So we just had some. So because I'm using like I'm on 6 exchanges right now.
Yeah,
Uh, like I said, I don't throw everything in one spot just because of what happens with FTX and
yeah,
a couple other exchanges. It's hard for me to get all the APIs and get them to read the same uh, and import the balances on the website because there are 6 different exchanges.
right. That'd be
And one of
tough.
them, I think one of them doesn't even have an API management system. So, um, uh, but yeah, it's hard to get it to all work with the site. So,
Would you guys ever, this is a question from someone from my community who's invested with you guys. Would you ever consider, they said that it's great how you're transparent with the Telegram bot that shows your trades, but like would you ever put it in the dashboard in like a digestible way that like people can see?
yeah, we've talked about it.
But I know that's a lot of development probably to get that.
It
Yeah.
is, and we've had a guy kind of look into it and try to see if there's a way that we can, and have them post as they come in
Yeah.
on the website, but we just haven't had much luck with it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it has been talked about.
Okay. Yeah, I think their point was it's a little confusing if you don't know how to understand that stuff. Like if there was a way to make it more digestible, it'd probably inspire a lot of other people to
Yeah,
get in that aren't
well,
in or to double
and
down.
yeah, but the fact that we're even posting these trades in real time
Yeah.
anywhere,
Yeah.
is unheard of. Nobody's doing that. Nobody wants to do it.
Right.
I honestly don't care. I mean, I posted
Yeah.
several losses on there. I think there was a $16,000 loss trade I had a couple weeks back, and I posted on there. We believe transparency, even
Yeah.
we're at our worst. So
Yeah, you guys, it seems like I've heard you on other AMAs saying like you have pretty tight stop losses in place, like your risk management. Maybe you could just briefly touch on your risk management.
yeah.
Uh,
So for example, the grid bot runs like I said, pretty tight, and then our stop loss on it's a 0.5%. So if it drops below that lower threshold at 0.5% hits, it
okay.
automatically sells everything into a stable coin, which is USDT, and it just holds. It just sits there until it levels out, and then once it levels out, and I see a good spot to start it back up again, we'll start it back up. All the
Cool.
DCA bots run at a 0.8% stop loss, um, but those are usually ran with leverage. So you would have to take whatever your leverage is times that by your 0.8, and it's usually right around the 10%.
Okay.
And usually that's where it's at, about 10 to 13%. Um, but yeah, every manual trade I do, every trade that gets made, even with the bots, they all run stop losses. We run about 15% of the portfolio through leverage trading.
Okay.
We do have long holds. Like for example, I sold all my BTC yesterday when we were up around that 30,700 range. It's just sitting in stablecoin now. I expected a drop. It's kind of why I went really heavy on
on
that
that
short
short?
this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
But once it finds a good dip, hopefully here in the next couple days, it'll look like it might generate something coming back up. We'll go back in heavy because I'm sure we'll revisit that 31 at some
Yeah.
point. So
Cool. Yeah. So looking at your guys' total users, it's pretty good for being in a bear market. 1,200 people, and like I've been watching you guys. So it seems like even in a month, this is maybe, I don't know if it's doubled, but it's definitely been going up. But when I look at this, I think, man, there's so much room to grow still. Um,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
with your guys' new contract and with the variable yields, one of my questions was going to be, do you foresee a cap needed? Like, were you like
No,
taking enough money and you cap no more new investors, or?
no, because we're looking to launch another side of this. So the way that if it just won't be necessary.
Okay.
I don't want to go into too many details just because we're still waiting on um, basically still waiting on paperwork on a couple things.
Okay. So you got some
But
new
it's
things coming in the pipeline.
yeah, oh yeah, it's
Okay.
big, and it's going to be it's going to tie the staking in with it. It's just we're just going to continue to spread this ecosystem. So
Okay.
the cap is won't ever be won't ever be implemented because it won't be an issue. It just won't even be needed. Um,
Yeah.
but this be at our next hopefully in the next few months we'll be able to come out with an announcement on it. Kind of let everybody in shed some light on it and let everybody know what's about to happen. But yeah, it's big. It's gonna be nice for everybody.
So yeah, what I'm hearing you say is you guys aren't going anywhere, and this is the beginning of an ecosystem. That's what
Oh,
I'm kind of hearing.
this is the
Okay.
beginning of a franchise of
Okay.
ecosystems. Like it's gonna be yeah we're gonna expand. We're gonna continue to grow. We're gonna continue bringing in people to help us out. So this is but yeah, this is just the beginning, man.
Awesome. Yeah. So what you guys got left here in the TVL, this is what people can actually take their profits from, right? This
Hmm.
225, and then
Yeah, we
from what I've
usually like
heard.
to keep about 100 to 120.
Okay.
I usually let it build up because it only takes a couple days, and then I'll pull it out and then I'll divvy it up between the exchanges, um, and then use that for trading.
Okay. And you guys, as far as I know, have never actually injected funds back into the contract. Is that right?
Nope, never have.
Yeah. Which is,
Our growth has been so consistent.
yeah.
We just haven't needed to, so it allows us to even continue generating more profit and try to
Yeah.
stay above that 1% threshold.
Yeah. So again, this is where it comes down to like trusting Trav and the
Yeah,
team, because like you could look at that with a negative mindset and say, yeah, they've only used new money coming in to pay people out. But on the other side of things, their TVL has been so strong they haven't needed to. And if I was running the project, I would want to use as much of the capital as I could
exactly.
to earn more dividends
Yeah,
until I needed
and
to put it back in. That's,
and I think
so it's like
we're
both sides of the coin.
yeah, and I think we're about a week out. We'll have that arbitrage bot running off the contract on a node, so that's going to be huge too, because then the money that's sitting there is actually going to generate some more money. So
Yeah. So, okay.
we're going to put it all to work.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. And then that arbitrage bot will be earning some capital off of the TVL that's left in the contract. If this is a big smashing hit, is this something you've talked about like selling this software, like this arbitrage bot, to other protocols, or haven't even got there yet?
No, we haven't even got there yet. I
Yeah.
mean, if it works, then great. And if that's something that Ox developed himself, so I mean, that would be something that we'd have to ask him. Um,
Okay.
but if it works and it runs great and it generates a decent percentage,
Yeah.
anything right now would just be
Anything
huge,
would be
just
great.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because I
It's
mean, it's
just
just
dead
sitting there.
capital right now. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Okay, that totally makes sense. And then any new sort of revenue sources that are on the horizon that you haven't mentioned, or people don't know
um,
about?
yeah, I mean, we're Ox's dev team. They're constantly working. Right now, they're prioritizing the customizing the bots and getting that optimization
Okay.
uh, deal running right now. But they have been working on a blockchain for us. Um, they have been working on, and then Ox has been working on the that Dex arbitrage bot, and then our big one that's down the road. Everybody's kind of been working on that too. So that's yeah. Once
Did you say he's working on a blockchain for you?
yeah, we're looking to launch a blockchain hopefully by the end of the year.
Okay, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
pretty massive.
What I was told, I mean, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it'll be able to handle like 2,000 transactions a second. So
Cool. Okay, so well, I don't even know if you want to get into it on this AMA, but if you want to, like, why create your own blockchain? Like, what?
it's another source of revenue.
Yeah.
That it would help put us on the map as well. And then we are also looking to launch our own token. I mean, there's several things you can do
Yeah.
with the blockchain. The transaction fees itself, that's a huge source of revenue.
Yeah.
And we can basically have the idea of using that token to represent the value of that blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's just different aspects of it that you can do to help generate more revenue for the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, hey, it seems like if I asked you the question, how long can Wolf Capital last? I mean, from what I'm hearing you say, it can last quite a long time. It's going to be
sky's the
around.
limit.
Sky's the limit, right?
As long as we're still working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason. I mean, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. As long as we're generating profit, as long as
Yeah.
we're expanding, we can last for a very, very long time.
That's awesome. So, what would you say is like the biggest risk for Wolf Capital, like of it
I
failing?
always tell everybody this. It's definitely the market because we do rely heavily on it.
Uh-huh.
If there's that apocalyptic day,
Yeah.
you see Bitcoin start out during the day at 29, and at the end of the day it's 8. That's
Yeah.
not only would we get crushed, the entire DeFi market would get crushed. Everybody would get crushed. So
Yeah.
that would be the day that obviously we wouldn't be able to survive that.
Uh-huh.
But unless I just had some of the best, awesome shorts ever ready to go.
That was awesome.
But yeah,
And then
I would say that's probably it.
With this variable rate, like, would you say it seems like if I'm looking at what you guys have already done, that you're going to be able to close the inflation gap probably down to 0 and be completely non-Ponzi?
On day 120 is our goal to have that completely down to 0, and then at the point where we're actually profiting as a company instead of being behind on the divs. So if that's the goal, is day 120 be there, which we've got about 60 more days left, then I think it'll be solid.
Yeah, that's great. And then from there, you'll have the decision. What do you want to do with those profits? Do you want to create an insurance fund? Do you want to,
exactly.
What do you do? Right. So that'll be a good problem to have once you hit that mark. But I think that's great. You've already got it sort of timelined out. You've got a goal set and I've done the math on that. What's needed. I think that's awesome. So, I mean, anything that I haven't asked you that you guys want to talk about, like any new announcements you have? I know with your actual new contract, there's a couple new features, like maybe talk about what else is rolled up in there besides the variable yield.
So the big one that the community has really been asking for a long time is a claim all button, because there's so many stakes. One person may have, like, for example, I've got probably 50 stakes. So hitting that button 50 times, it's time consuming. So he added a claim all button. So if all your stakes are ended at the same time, you can just say claim all and it does them all for you.
Awesome.
And then of course it's a proxy contract, so it allows us to expand. If there's any changes that we see in the future, or anything that we want to upgrade or add another function to, we can do that. And then we also added a multi-sig, just because we are getting big, and the transactions are getting bigger. When we pull out, we added a multi-sig, so that way when I go to pull the funds out, if I accidentally hit too many zeros, or not enough
Yeah.
zeros, or if I had the wrong contract or wrong address
Right.
listed or something like that. Um, have Ox go in there. He's gonna double check everything, and same with him. If he makes any changes to the contract, it, the multi sig will allows me to go in there and make sure
Okay. No, I think,
it's right. So
yeah, because up to this point, it's all been in your power to do everything, right?
right, right. So we've added with that multi sig, it just kind of adds a little bit more accountability on the team side, so that way somebody can double check what I'm doing, even though I've done it 100 times and pulled out all
Yeah.
this time and never not messed up. There's always
Yeah.
that one chance, you know.
Right. And now, in the weird case that like after talking to you today and seeing you around the space for a while, I don't have any doubts or feelings that you would do something malicious, but it would stop that from happening because,
Right.
Rhea would have to also um, be a part of that as well. So I think that's a good safety feature. Have you guys been KYC'd, both you and Oxria?
Yeah, we've both been KYC with Anani Docs. We know the owner over there.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I got that right here. I always thought that was such a funny name, Anani Docs. Like it made me think that it wasn't legit, but just because it's like, oh, let me create a company that's called something that people want it to be called, like anonymously doxed. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's cool. You guys have that. So both of you guys have that. And I see you guys have an audit from the stamp and, just pointing out your team trust is a 95. And I know that you don't like them calling it a backdoor, but basically you have the ability to take the funds out because you have to be able
Right.
to trade with it. Right. So that's why, for anyone reading the audit, that's why that's there. That's why it's at 50%. Right.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, again, that's
But and again, this that audit was just for the previous contract. So
okay.
now we have a new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are looking at there's really there's really just no point on getting a proxy contract audited because
Yeah. Because you can change everything.
we can change everything. So, um,
Yeah.
but I don't think we will. We might have somebody come in
Yeah.
and do it just for the fact of putting it on there that we've kind of looked at Certic as a possible candidate to go ahead and audit ours. They're
Okay.
really big. They got
Yeah.
a pretty big a lot of experience with auditing proxy contracts. So, but that's a little conversation me and Ox been
Yeah.
having. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. But
And what was your main objective on making a proxy contract,
to
like
expand,
to expand, make it
yeah.
easy? So yeah,
So
just
when
for
we
people who
add,
are like nervous about that, like maybe you could talk about.
yeah. So for example, if we decide we expand and want to add, say, the NFT feature,
Yeah.
for the copy trading, we would have to migrate again. So, just in
Hmm.
the last 2 weeks, we brought in like eight
Yeah.
hundred something $1,000 in deposits. Oh, that's a lot of data. That's another 250 wallets.
Yeah.
It took 6 hours to do this last migration. If we decide to do the NFT thing 2 weeks from now, it may take 24 hours to do that migration.
Yeah.
So every time that we want to expand, we'd have to migrate, and there's no point in doing that.
Yeah.
Having a proxy contract makes it way smoother for the investors. We don't have to interrupt any kind of anything going down during the day. If we just want to add that section in there for the
Yeah.
NFTs, we just add it. So
No, I think it's a catch-22 because it's like
Mhm.
no, people don't want the developers to have that sort of power. But at the same time, if you have a renounced contract and something goes wrong, like there's nothing you can do about it in those cases.
Exactly,
And then everyone's
exactly.
crying that they want something to be done and it can't be done.
Well,
And
I think
yeah,
we've had the trust of the community.
yeah.
You
This whole
know,
project is based on trust with you guys.
exactly, and
So
I think we've gotten it pretty well with the community, and
yeah,
they know that we're I come on camera with these AMAs.
yeah,
We're both docs. Um, I mean, I even told people, I live in Oklahoma, I live in Texas, so I mean, I'm not,
mhm.
I'm not
You're
hiding. I'm
out
not,
there. You're out there.
yeah,
You're yeah, people could
it's not
find you
a,
if they wanted to.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but
Yeah,
like I said, I'm from Oklahoma. We don't really mess around too much.
I get it. No, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to discuss all this. It seems like you guys have a lot of great things going. you're hitting a stride and some momentum with people, new users joining. I think this is a real pivotal time, like we talked about, with people being able to withdraw their capital. But if they're earning great yield and everything looks healthy, I don't see why they would. Maybe they just take some profits off the table. Maybe they do the 50-50 strategy. But I'm going to be taking a real serious look at jumping in and see where things go from here. But yeah, I like what I've seen. I like how transparent you guys are, and yeah, I appreciate you coming on, Trav.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to jump into their, you guys have a Discord and a Telegram group, get in there. These guys are always in there answering questions. They have some good mods as well that are super informed. Of course, anything we talked about today is not financial advice. So just make sure you do your own research. And it's still a risk, even though they've had a good track record so far. It's obviously risky. It's DeFi. You're getting some amazing potential rewards in 1% to 2% a day. That's phenomenal. So yeah, get in the Discord and get in their Telegram group and just ask away until you feel satisfied. That's my advice. So anyway, really glad you guys took the time out to watch this today. If you haven't already, please like this video. And that's it. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.